Alright, I have seen The Rise of Skywalker. Finally, a week later, because I'm recording this on the 27th of December, I have watched it. As with everyone, I'm sure, I have thoughts. I have ideas, theories, and all that good stuff. So spoilers, if you have not seen episode 9 and you don't want spoilers, don't watch this video. Watch it later. I'm serious. You better click off this video in the next 5 seconds or I'll spoil a part of the movie. I'll do it. I will spoil this movie for you. Okay. It's probably been 5 seconds. Alright, you better do it. Alright. Okay. Ben dies. Okay. Let's talk about episode 9 now. And we'll start with my impressions of the movie. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it. I know there are many a person saying how awful, how garbage it was, but I think that's just an exaggeration. It isn't as bad as people are making it out to be, and if you're disappointed by it, well, that I can actually understand. It did feel like at numerous points in the movie that J.J. Abrams he tried to tell the story of two movies in one. The movie, at times, it would feel rushed. For example, the entire beginning with Kylo finding Palpatine, Rey continuing to train, the Resistance doing things with a mole in the First Order, that could have been episode 8 easily. And I have a strong feeling that if Abrams would have directed episode 8, the plot would have been Rey training with Luke, the Resistance on its own struggling to do anything, and Kylo trying to turn Rey while also discovering what Snoke was and that Palpatine is still alive. Then you have Rey discovering who she's related to, the death of Chewie, in quotes, because he didn't actually die. You can also you can almost just see it. You know, you can just tell that that's what episode 8 would have been about. And then you end it with Rey learning of her past, and you end it with Chewie inherently dying, because the one we got, the actual episode 8, really wasn't even talked about in 9. The relationships between Rose and the gang aren't there. The Battle of Crate is only mentioned like once. Leia had to train Rey because Luke died, and look, you get the picture. I'm rambling. The first act clearly was not my favorite. It was a movie crammed into the length of like a Mandalorian episode. If the major plot points after Chewie's capture was an entire movie, I'm convinced that episode 9 would have been incredible. And that's not even talking about what they could have done with Act 1 opened up, but look, I'm not here to, say what I think should have happened. I hate that. I hate doing that. I'm not going to do it. Just know that I wasn't into it. I very much disliked it until things started going. When they went to the Death Star 2's ruins, when Palpatine's plans were revealed, when Rey and Kylo began fighting, and it started to harken back to the duels between Vader and Luke, as well as Obi-Wan and Anakin, just reversed, I was into it. The last half of this movie connected to almost everything we've seen in the past in the expanded material. I have a list on my phone. I'm going to go over all of the things I thought of that connected to episode 9. I'm going to read them off, give my thoughts, and you can add to it in the comment section down below. So to start, the First Order and Palpatine's contingency. For those who might not know of his contingency, after Palpatine's death, in quotes, he activated the plans to completely wipe out the Empire from within, destroy everything related to it, while a small sect would escape into the unknown regions and rendezvous with the Emperor's personal Super Star Destroyer, the Eclipse. Now, it's never explained why or how the Eclipse got out there. Like a lot of things in the post-Empire story, it just happened. Things just happened, and we never knew why or how. But now that the Emperor was revealed to be still alive, that he had a plan to retake the galaxy, that's the missing piece. Palpatine is the key. From his interest in the unknown regions and Sith artifacts, to his observatories, to the First Order, to Snoke, to Luke's quest post-Episode 6, to Rey, it all connects through him, who we thought was dead. Then we have the entire battle between Rey and Palpatine, which alludes to the entire struggle between the Jedi, the Sith, and this so-called balance. Sidious, who is backed by the Sith, and Rey, who is backed by the Jedi, battle, and they essentially kill each other. Both died, and that brought balance to the Force. Both were dead. There were no Jedi, no Sith. It was just the Force. Then another thing, something my dad pointed out. Palpatine wanted Rey to continue the legacy of the Sith and himself, and when she'd strike him down, the dark side would pass to her, which, when she's revived by Ben, that essentially means that both the light and the dark exist through her because she did, in fact, kill Palpatine, and she was backed by the Jedi, meaning that Rey is now the balance between the Force. Rey is technically the first Grey Jedi, unless you want to count Ahsoka, who stated that she isn't a Jedi and not a Sith, so, you know, you can kind of put that together. Then there's another thing pulled out by my dad, who was confused on why Luke, who is deceased, was able to pull his X-Wing out of the water on Ahch-To. He said that if he could do that, then the spirits of Yoda, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, all of them, they could have helped out Luke and maybe even fought the Sith, which, again, reinstates the very philosophy of the Jedi is a failure, as Luke figured out.
The Jedi are romanticized, deified. But if you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris.
That's not true.
At the height of their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
I did an entire video on the failures and if the Jedi were ever that good. If you care, you can go watch that right here. But as for episode 9, for as many answers as we got in the movie, it left probably just as many questions. For example, how did Palpatine escape the Death Star? How did Leia, how did Ben Solo become one with the Force? What happens to the Jedi now? What happens to the Sith now? Does Lando have a daughter? These are questions, as well as many others I didn't list, that I will be answering over the next little while, at least the ones I can. But before we get to them, there's still one thing left to discuss, and my God, it is good. The Mandalorian. Next week, the first full week of January, I'll be giving my thoughts, theories, and ideas on The Mandalorian and the future of the show, because I'll be honest with you, the last 5 minutes alone could spark an entire video, which I'll go over it then. But as for this video, and as for the Skywalker saga, it's over. The story of the Skywalkers has been concluded, but it is far from over. There's still The Mandalorian, there's still the Clone Wars, the Obi-Wan show, the Cassian Andor show, etc., etc. But those are all a topic for another time. I'll see you all in the next video, everyone. You can leave your questions, comments, or concerns regarding this video, Star Wars, or its lore, in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching.